It's a rainy Monday night. I'm at the location for the installation of the newest public arts piece, Fine Balance. My name is Teddy Herzog. I'm here on Water Street. Behind me is the pedestrian bridge, and we're just upstream of the turning basin. Behind me, the proposal is for a series of kind of fun, tongue-in-cheek 5 bathtubs lifted up on stilts. I'll show you a photo. This is a color drawing by the artist Brian Gauguin, showing you what his piece Fine Balance will look like. What I've really enjoyed about this is since the public first got to see an older pencil drawing of this, even though this thing hasn't even been built yet, there's been non-stop controversy about it. Some people love it, some people hate it, but people have not stopped talking about it. It's just a topic of ongoing interest. And I think that's what you want from a public art piece. You don't want something that's like the lowest common denominator, like in Petaluma. You know, if we had everybody vote on, well, what should the art piece look like? You'd end up with a chicken with a hat on it or something like that, which would be safe, but nobody would care about it and no one would go take a look at it. What's great about this piece is it's a lightning rod for opinions, discussion, and for sure, we know it's the kind of thing that people will go out of their way to check out and take a look. Behind me is the turning basin, which is the heart and soul, commercial heart and soul of Petaluma. At least it was in the year 1900, when we'd be sending down agricultural products, eggs and milk, wheat, game, wild game, and send it down to San Francisco, and in exchange we'd be sent up goods such as building materials. Even the clawfoot bathtub in my bathroom probably was loaded in from the turning basin. My house was built in the year 1900, and this bathtub has been here in this bathroom since 1900 as well. And it's very likely that this tub came in on a boat up the Petaluma River and got unloaded at the turning basin before it was bought and installed here in my house. Let's take a look around the vicinity of this location and see what other sites there are which may inform whether or not this art installation makes sense. I'm on 1st Street at D Street, about a block and a half downstream of the proposed art site. And here we are at a PG&E electric substation, and behind me is a large oversized outlet, which is a public art piece. Again, nighttime's probably not the best time to show this. I also find it fascinating, the large metal tower that's behind it. This part of town is actually surprisingly industrial, and it's just part of the fabric of our town. About a block and a half south of the proposed art installation, and that's now behind me, a short walk away. I'm in front of Boulevard Cinema, which has a fun facade, and next to it, right on the corner, is a ice cream cone. Can't even see it. There's 2 things wrong with that piece of public art. One is it's not lit up, so you can't see it, and the other thing is it's not interesting. It doesn't spark inquiry. That's one thing that's kind of fun about the Fine Balance piece. Even though it hasn't even been built yet, there's been tons of controversy, and some people love it and some people hate it. But the key is it elicits this strong, energetic response from you, whether you love it or you hate it. And I thought I'd come and show you this unlit ice cream cone. Number 1, you can't see it. And number 2 is it doesn't generate any public response, which by definition means it's not very interesting. Behind me in the dark is the Great Petaluma Mill. This rock-walled building is actually the oldest building downtown by far, and on top of it sits an old granary metal structure, which is another key landmark in downtown Petaluma. The art installation for Fine Balance is actually just on the other side of this building, behind the building behind me, and behind that is where that art installation would be. and it's fascinating to come down here and see what it looks like at night. Again, I think one of the fun aspects of Fine Balance is if it gets lit up, it'll be a dramatic feature that's part of our nightscape, especially when people are done with restaurants. They'll say, hey, let's go check out those crazy tubs, and walk over and take a look, and it'll be a real fun, vibrant part of the nightlife fabric here. The Burning Man structures. I'm here at East Washington Street and Copeland Street, almost the center of town. Off in the distance, about 2 blocks away, you can almost see the Fine Balance project site. Let's see if you can see it or not. It's fairly hazy even though it's daylight, but there's those 2 large towers that are part of the PG&E substation. I point them out because if you walk around the river, around D Street and up to the Fine Balance project site, even the river itself has a very strong industrial, architectural character to it. And I think that's an important part of this conversation. So I'm over here at these Burning Man structures. 2 weeks out of the year, they're over at Burning Man. The rest of the year, they're here as a quasi-permanent public art installation that many of us know and love. It's part of the story we tell about ourselves. And I believe over time, once the Fine Balance tubs have been installed, we'll come to know that art installation as part of the story we tell about ourselves, and it'll be just who we are as Petaluma, and we'll come to love that as well.